Hey, this is Passy from Passy's World of ICT, the guy with the white hat, and another totally awesome Python program drawing lesson. And this time we're going to do multiple shapes. So we won't just be drawing one shape on the drawing board. We'll be drawing like a square, a circle, and a triangle, and doing some stars in a row. So let's go and let's get into it. Okay, so in this lesson, we're going to learn how to draw 5-pointed stars and then make them repeat in a line next to each other so that we can have more than one thing on our drawing board. And there's a program that we're going to use to draw a red star, which we'll talk about shortly. And once we've got one star drawn, what we're going to do is just modify the program to do some repeating so that we can get 3 stars repeated and have the turtle move so that they go in a line across the page, just like that. And that's going to be improving our Python skills with some more programming. Now remember, YouTube's just where we keep the videos. You need to go to passyworldofict.com/Python for the full course, because you need to see which lessons you need to have done before this one. So like, for example, you should have done the Hello World PyScripter one, just so you know your way around PyScripter and how to start and run a Python program. Then you should have done lesson 1 with the turtle about drawing basic shapes, so that you already know how to draw a square, how to draw a triangle, what we're talking about with Python def subroutines, what we're talking about with repeats. So go to this page, and if you go down on that page, it'll show you the lessons in order. So you always need to do them one after each other because they build on each other and are using skills from the previous lessons as we move forward and advance our own skills. So the learning objectives, what we're going to find out in this lesson, some new things like how to draw 5-pointed stars. Also, we're going to do how to draw circles, which is very simple in Python as well, and how to use the def procedures so that when we do those 3 stars, we can just write it with a def subroutine procedure to draw 1 star, and then we can just say, okay, draw star, and it'll go to the procedure, draw star, go to the procedure, draw star, goes back to that one procedure. So procedural orientated structured programming, which we did in the previous lesson, and we're going to keep doing because that is a fundamental programming structure of things you need to do. And the other new thing is the PenUp, because once we've drawn 1 star, we need to lift the pen up off the page so it's not drawing, so we can move across, then put our pen back down and draw the next star. So we'll be teaching you that. So PenUp and PenDown. We'll be using for loops like we have in the previous lesson. So remember, in the previous lesson we said, if you didn't really understand what we did today on for loops, that's okay, because like we're going to be doing them again in this lesson. So you should start to get an idea of how they work and understand them quite clearly. And we're going to be clearing off that drawing screen so we can draw one thing. And then we're going to have to learn about time delays. We'll have a time delay so you can look at it for a little while. Then bang, Python's going to clear the screen. Then it's going to draw the next shape on there, have a little time delay, bang, clear the screen. So you can sort of have shapes appearing one after each other, kind of like a little video presentation of shapes, I guess. But that sleep command is going to be useful in a lot of programs we do. So all of these things build on each other. So make sure you're doing the lessons in order as we keep telling you to. So as well as drawing 3 stars in a row, we'll also draw 3 different shapes all on the one drawing board, as you can see here. So our square from the previous lesson, our triangle from the previous lesson, and today's new guy, the circle. Okay, so we're going to put all those guys together across the page. There will be a challenge task. Actually, I think there's 3 different challenge tasks in this program lesson, but the main one is this one at the end. So we're going to show you how to draw shapes across the screen, and you're going to have to figure out how to make those shapes go down the screen like this, okay? So that's going to be quite challenging. The thing is, slow your turtle right down to a speed of like 1 or 2, and we did turtle speed in the previous lesson, so if you don't know how to do that, go back to the lesson before this by going to our webpage and looking it up. And so you'll draw your square, but then when you finish, you need to kind of figure out, okay, I lift my pen up so I'm not drawing and move down to here. Then I do my triangle, and I've got to work out how to move down here and where to start to draw the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, the octagon, which is kind of a stop sign tipped on its side slightly there. All right, so that's pretty much it. So let's get across to the PDF step-by-step instructions document and do the learning for this lesson. Okay, so this lesson is more drawing in Python. You need to have done that drawing basic shapes lesson before this one. Here's the program to draw a red star. So you can pause the video and type this in and get your first red star drawn. Very exciting. If you don't want a red star, you can change this turtle color here to green or magenta or cyan or purple. Now, the fill color you'll also need to change to match. So make sure you have the pen color and the fill color the same, because the star doesn't actually go around the outside. It crisscrosses with overlaps. You can see that if you make both of these different colors, you'll see what happens there. So remember the begin fill, once you've set up the starting stuff here. So this was all in the previous lesson. The key thing about a star is it's all about this angle you turn at. Remember, with a square, you had to turn it 90 degrees. To do a triangle, you had to turn at 120 degrees. With the star, we're actually going to be turning right 144 degrees, and that's the magic which makes the star points and makes 5 of them, okay? So pause the video, type that in and give it a run with the green arrow, and that's what you should get, a single star. All right, now we're going to look at drawing 3 stars across the page, but if you look at this carefully here, right, you can see there's a little line between that star and another line and the finished little arrowhead of the turtle here. So that looks great. We managed to move our turtle, like draw one star, move our turtle across a bit, draw another star, move the turtle across a bit, draw the third one. But we've got those kind of little lines where we moved across, and that doesn't look too good, those connecting lines. So we're going to work out how to fix that up using PenUp and PenDown, all right? So the original star program, the one you just did, you can take that and you can modify it to do the 3 red stars. So look, this document here is part of the download, so we suggest you get the downloads. I think they're about $1.30 US or something. It costs virtually nothing to get this comprehensive PDF document, which is like a chapter out of a book, basically. So, you know, a 10 chapter book might cost $30 and you're getting one chapter for $1.30 US. So that's really, really cheap. So we suggest you get this, and if your teachers especially get this and use it with your students, give them the written instructions rather than having them make the watch the whole video, because a lot of them won't have to. They're kind of smart and can pick it up pretty quickly. All right, so this is the key stuff. You need to have this stuff to move the turtle 170 steps to the right. Then all you do is just draw a star, that code you had in the previous program. Then you need to move it this direction here, draw a second star with that exact same code. Then move it over to the right, draw your third star, run it, and you should get what we showed you just here, those 3 stars with the connector lines. Okay, so pause the video and do that. Best you get the downloads and get the direct code so you can do all that. Remember your indentation, like when you're using a for loop here, you've got to press the tab key on your computer, which is near caps lock. Just press tab once to get that pushed across those 4 spaces there like that, or your program won't run. So do all that stuff and get it working. All right, so we're going to use PenUp and PenDown commands so that we can lift the pen up and not have those connector lines is the main idea. We're getting rid of the connector lines. We'll have our 3 beautiful stars, 1, 2, and 3, but we won't see those little connector lines between them. So to fix the connector lines problem, what you need to do is, see here where we're moving the turtle 170 steps to the left. We need to do a turtle.PenUp, and what that'll do is, well, I thought I had a pen here with me on the desk. I don't. All right, so what'll happen is the pen's down drawing and the turtle's moving around drawing stuff, right? What happens is you lift the pen up so it's not touching the paper, and then the turtle can move, just like you lifting your pen off the paper and going, oh, I need to go back up the top and write a heading that I forgot to do. So you lift it up, go up the top, then you put your pen down and write. So it's kind of like that. It should be a pretty simple concept. So you do turtle pen up while you're moving it, so you're not going to see a line drawn. Then straight away after you've done your move, you put turtle pen down. So it's just a matter of using turtle pen up, do your moving, turtle pen down, turtle pen up, do your reposition moving, and put your turtle pen down. So if you make those modifications to your program, what you should see is that the 3 stars are right there next to each other, and you don't see those little connector lines in between them, okay? So we've managed to draw multiple objects on the one screen, which is awesome. That's why this lesson's called Multiple Shapes. All right, so pause the video, put your PenUp and PenDown commands in there, use the green arrow to try it out and make sure it's all working. If it's not working, get this download code and check yours line for line to see where your mistake might be. All right, because a common mistake, remember you've always got to have that import turtle at the top, so it brings in the Tkinter modules for doing the turtle drawing, okay? So remember to have that as well. Alrighty, so we're going to now take that 3 stars program. So we've got some code here that's just kind of, this is called sequential steps. So this is the most sort of primitive, basic level of doing coding, where you just go step, 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 step. We don't care if we're doing the same thing. Again, we just write out the exact same stuff again. So look, this is kind of like, if you think about English essays, this is like your essay plan, where you might have put down a whole bunch of dot points or little notes about what you're going to write in this essay or this report for history or whatever you're doing. And then you have to put the thing together with paragraphs and structure it and check your sentences and all that. So this is kind of like our little dot points version, which someone could read through and get the idea of what your essay is going to be about. But here's where we structure it. So we're going to use subroutine defs, as we've done in previous lessons, to kind of like when you're making your essay, you're making paragraphs. When you're making a program, programmers make subroutines in any language, VBNet or Python or JavaScript or C++. But these ones in Python are called defs, okay, where we define the subroutine of a DEF statement. All right, so having a look at that program we wrote, which is just kind of the baby version, kind of dot point, heaps of sequential steps, the most basic sort of program you can write. You can see we've got repeated stuff here. When we draw the first star, we're doing that code here to do 5 repeats of moving forward 100 and turning right 144 degrees. And we just keep doing that 5 times till we've got our whole star finished, and then we fill it in. All right, so what we can do is see it's there, and when we draw the second star, whoa, hey, that's the exact same stuff again. And when we draw the third star, no surprises there, exact same stuff again. So when we've got code that is exactly the same like this in different sections, that repeated kind of subroutine of drawing a star, we can split that out into its own separate def process, and then we can just call draw star whenever we want to draw a star. So let's show you how we do that. So the 3-star repeats have all got identical code, so we can move it into a separate def subroutine. So what you need to do is modify the program you've been working on, okay? And where we've got our turtle fill color here red, just press enter after that line to get some blank lines. So we need to just have the def or define subroutine in Python to draw a star. So our program for drawing a star, just take that and copy and paste it in here where it was down previously in the program. So for drawing a star, we just need to begin our fill for 5 repeats, move forward 100, turn 144, move forward, blah, 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 5 times. And then we do the end fill, and then it's going to color in our star with the turtle fill color we chose back here at the start, which in this case happens to be red. Okay, so that's a subroutine. That's for drawing a star, and we're calling it draw star. So whenever we want our main program to draw a star, we don't have to put all that code in just there that's shown in blue. All you can do is just type draw star, and Python will go off and find this little sub process and it'll do it, okay? So here we go. Then we have the main program steps to draw the stars. All right, so we're doing our stuff to set up our turtle and everything. We're drawing our first star. Then we're lifting the pen up and repositioning. Then we just want to make another star. So you just use draw star, and Python will go off and do the draw star stuff and get positioned for your third star and just go off and do the draw star stuff. So restructure your program so it looks like this. So it's a structured, more professional looking program, because that's what we're trying to learn how to do in this course. So it looks like that, where you're just calling the draw star def subroutine. Every time you need to draw a star, you just say, hey Python, draw star. And you've trained Python and it knows how to draw a star. Kind of like our little dog puppy Murphy. We're training him to do fetch at the moment. So as soon as we throw something, we say fetch, and he knows he has to run and get it. As soon as you say draw star, Python knows it has to run off and find this stuff, and it knows how to draw a star because you've trained it. Okay. All right, now the next step, we're going to look at making the def subroutines into a structured whole program, okay? So when we look at our program, it's kind of got 4 different things it does. Okay, right at the start, you need to import Turtle on all of these programs, so you get the Tkinter drawing library brought in, so you bring in a library of whole extra programs you can use for drawing. And the first one is to just set up the drawing board size and get the turtle going, what color you want it, and whether you want it visible or not, all that stuff. So that's your first thing, kind of the setup process. Then we just wrote that separate sub-process to draw a star. So that's one of our subroutine defs that we need to have in the program, and that one we've already got. Then there was the main process where we listed all those steps at the bottom. So that involves kind of repositioning the turtle with its pen up, moving it round, and when it's in the right position, draw your first star, move it along so you can then draw your second star, move it along with its pen up so you don't see that ugly connector line, and it can draw the third star. Then we have some finishing processing just to finish things off at the end of a program. All right, so this is pretty typical. A program will have a setup, it'll have a main process, and it'll have some finish processing. Just like your essay when you're writing it, it kind of has an introductory paragraph, an introductory section, then you have the main part of your essay, and it might be broken up into paragraphs. So you draw a star, here's a subroutine that's going to be used several times, and it might be off in its own little separate section in the program. And then you have some finishing up process, like when you're writing your essay, that's kind of like your concluding paragraph. So programs, professional programmers write them exactly the same way. Like 9 times out of 10 programs you look at have some setup section to get everything set up, ready to go. Then they have main processing, and that main processing might branch off to some separate little sub-processes as well, that are repeated processes. And at the end, you have some sort of finishing process, which is short and sweet, just to finish the program off. So look, in our current program, this is what it's looking like at the moment. So these first steps here, that's where we set up the turtle. So we're setting up how big the board is, the turtle color, all that sort of stuff, working out what fill color we're going to use. So that's going to be a little subroutine which we're going to call setup turtle. Okay, that's going to be the name of that subroutine. Then we've already got this one here to draw the star, so we called that one draw star. That's already done. And this subroutine down here that does all the main stuff, we're actually going to put that in a def and call that def main. Okay, so it's going to be the main process. And then down the bottom, we're just having this finishing up stuff, which will be to hide the turtle so that when we finish drawing, we don't bother seeing the turtle on the finished product. And just have a command here so that it'll hang around on the screen and you have to click the screen for it to disappear. Otherwise, remember back in the first lesson, Hello World, if you go directly to your folder and run a program, it'll disappear straight away. Let's try that out. Now I've got to work out which is the right one. Draw 3 stars, red, we've modularized. I think this is the one. So if we run that directly from our Windows folder, it does the 3 stars. And see how it doesn't close up and disappear because we've got that exit on click. So if we go here and click, that's when it closes itself down, all right? Because if you don't have that in there, I'm not sure what this one's like when we run it from the sort of thing. This was the one with pausing and stuff, I think. Yeah, a sleep thing. Oh, we're going to get to that, all right? So all right, but anyway, that was the main point there. Hopefully I wasn't too quick explaining that, but that's what this turtle exit on click does. If you want to run the program directly from the Python executable, just using Windows folders and not even loading up PyScripter or PyCharm or MU or whatever you're doing, you need to have that at the end. Otherwise, once it finishes its little Python program, it just bang, closes the window and you won't get to see the finished 3 stars on the screen. Okay, so we've talked a lot about that. So we need 1, 2, 3 more def subroutines, which we don't have yet, and the star one we've already got and we've drawn. So we're going to restructure this into a super professional program that has, just like an English essay would have, it's got your introductory paragraph here, it's got your ending, finishing up code, and it's got all the main stuff in here, all right? So let's see how we do that. Pretty easy, actually. All you need to do to make these defs, because you're thinking, oh, that's complicated, I've got to do this. All you have to do is write def in little letters above the code, and then tab all your previous code with the tab key inwards so that Python knows that all these things are part of this def. So our first one was setup turtle, so you just write def space setup turtle, remember to have your brackets and your double dots, and then just all that code which we had that was setting up the turtle, it's already there. Just use the tab key to push it across so that Python knows that's part of this subroutine. All right, we've already got our star one sitting there. Now the main one, to get that happening, def main brackets colon, and all those commands are moving the turtle and drawing the star, moving the turtle, drawing the star. Just use the tab key to just push all of those in one by one, tab, 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 so they go in 4 spaces. And this finishing up one, def finish up, and you just need to tab across and make sure these are pushed in. All right, now remember, once you've got the subroutines, we've got 4 of them here, If you just run it with those, nothing will happen, because you've got to have that master list at the bottom of the program, which tells Python, okay, we've set up all these different little jobs for you to do, and this is what you need to do in this order. So we want you to go off and set up the turtle. So Python will go and find that set up turtle def, and it'll do all that stuff in blue there. And then we want you to do the main process. So Python will go and find this purple one here, this main one, and it'll be doing all that stuff. And while it's doing it, it'll see draw star, and it'll actually go off and find draw star, that pink one there, and do it. So every time it sees draw star, it actually goes off here and does this stuff. And then finishing up, once it's finished its main one and done the third star, it's going to then do this finish up one, which will just hide the turtle and hang it round on the screen with an exit click, so we can see it in direct executable mode. All right, so that's what you need to write. That's a fully finished professional Python program. And I know you think it's a hassle because we just had that baby version with the list, and that was fine, right? Because it drew the 3 stars and we didn't see the connectors lines, and that was fantastic. That was totally awesome. So why do we have to do this other one? Well, look, if you just wrote your English essay plan with those dot points about what needed to be in it and handed that in to your teacher, what sort of grade do you think you're going to get? What sort of student do you think they're going to think you are handing that in? All right. And it's the same with programming. Like if you just write some program that just has all the sequential steps one after each other in a whole set of long lines, someone's going to look at that and they're going to go, this is a bit of a kindy kid here, still in kindergarten programming. They don't really sort of understand what programming's about. It's going to look really unprofessional and make you look really bad. Okay, so look, this is the way it's done in the real world with these defined subroutines. This is the way you've got to learn how to do it. And at least this is a fun way of doing it because you're drawing some colored shapes and things. We could take you to some online courses about Python that are extremely boring, which also teach you def subroutines. At least this is a fun way to do it. Okay. Trust us, it's true, it's totally awesome. All right, so now you're ready for a challenge task. So your challenge task is to, instead of drawing 3 stars, draw 3 different shapes in a row, lifting your pen up in between and repositioning it. So these shapes, the square and the triangle, you should know how to do from the previous lesson. Now the circle. The circle's really easiest object to draw in Python, because all you have to do is go turtle.circle, and in brackets you put what the radius of the circle is. Hopefully remember that from maths. It's the distance from the center out to the edge. But if you play around with it and put big numbers in here, you'll get a big circle. And if you put a little number like 5, you'll get a tiny little circle you can hardly see. All right, so 55 will give you kind of that nice size circle. Look, they are a little bit rough around the edge with the pixelation, depending on your screen, especially when we screen print them and put them into this PDF, but they will look a bit smoother in the real world. All right, so the side lengths we've used is the square is 100, the triangle is 120 long, and we're also turning 120 in that, and the circle radius is 55. The colors we've used there are blue, orange, and magenta. You don't have to use those exact same colors, but if you like them, you can use them, and that's what they are. All right, so that's challenge task 1. From the learning in the previous lesson and this lesson, you should be able to do that one quite okay. Now we're going to look at something different, where instead of drawing them 1, 2, 3 in a row, we're going to draw one on the screen, then we're going to clear off the screen and draw the next one. So we're going to show them to, instead of 1, 2, 3 across the page, we're going to show them one at a time. We'll show square, and you can look at that for a little while. Then we'll show triangle, and you can look at that for a little while. Then we'll show circle, and you can look at that one for a little while, okay? So we're doing it a slightly different way. So we need to learn how to clear the turtle screen. Now, there's lots of ways of clearing the turtle screen. If you Google for this or look up Stack Overflow, which has a lot of help for programmers, you can use turtle.clear screen, turtle.screen, .clear, turtle.done, turtle.clear reset, and whatever. Okay, now the difference is, if you use turtle reset screen or turtle screen .reset, either coding works the same. It resets all the turtles on the screen to their initial state, okay? And turtle.by just closes that whole graphics window down, okay? So it'll make the window disappear, which is not what we want to do, because we want to keep the window there. We just want to be drawing different shapes in the window each time. And Turtle exit on click, we've seen what that does. That keeps it hanging around until we click on the screen, and then it should disappear. All right, so we need to use a time delay as well. And how you do a time delay is really easy. For a 3-second delay, all you have to do is import the time module library. Okay, so just like we import Turtle so we can draw Turtle graphics, if we want to do stuff with timing, it doesn't come in the standard package. You need to import it in. So we import time, and we go time.sleep brackets 3 will give us a 3-second delay. And we're going to use turtle.reset just to clear the screen, because we don't want to close the screen down. We don't want to reset the turtle to all its original positions and colors. We're just going to use turtle.reset, okay? Let me see, was that right? Code will leave the finished drawing on the screen for 3 seconds, is that one. Note that if we use clear screen instead of reset, then the clear screen goes all white. Yes, remember, because we changed our background color to black to make it look better. So turtle reset is great because it just doesn't reset everything, right? It sounds like reset would reset everything and clear screen would just clear the screen. But it's kind of crazy, it works the other way around. Clear screen will actually take away your background color and all those nice colors you made and just make a plain white screen. So you actually use reset. I reckon they should have been named the other way around, but that's the way the Python guys have done it, so that's the way we're doing it. So if you have an import time, a time sleep 3 for 3 seconds, then clear the screen, then you can draw your next shape, okay? So that's sort of time delays and clearing screens, and that's the way we suggest you do it. So in this challenge task, what you'll do is you'll have just your program and you'll draw a square on the screen, okay? So you know how to do that from the lesson 1. And then after that, you import time, sleep for 3 seconds and clear the screen, okay? So you need those 3 lines of code there, right? And then what you can do is you can then have a clear screen and draw the triangle. And then again, make it sleep for 3 seconds with these 2 blue lines. Use that yellow one to clear it off, so you've got a brand new clear screen. Then you just need to draw the circle, but you don't need to sleep or clear or do anything like that, okay? So that's a challenge task, and you should be able to do that. So pause the video if you need to and do it, or maybe just pause it and take a break before you do that challenge task. All right, now to draw those shapes one after each other, here's actually the answer, I think. I think this is the answer for the challenge task. So import turtle. So we've got all our stuff. Now to draw the blue square, we're going to show you a new way of drawing the blue square here. Previously we drew a line, then we said, okay, we've got to repeat 3 times 100, left 100, left 100, left 100. We can actually do it with 4 repeats, which is kind of quicker and simpler. It's just that you've got to turn your turtle the opposite direction, turn right. So if you just have, for I in range brackets 4, because you want to do this 4 times, if you move forward 150 and then turn right, and then go forward 150, turn right, forward 150, turn right, 90 degrees, so you're doing that nice L shape when you're turning, that's actually going to make a square. So that's just a simpler way of making a square. So do your square this way. This is a much simpler way. Why did we do it that other way that was more work in the previous lesson? We did that because we wanted to teach you about how to use for loops. That was our first adventure into for loops. So, oh, excuse me. That would have come through loud with that microphone too. Very sorry about that. This is a much better way. So when you need to draw squares now, just do them this way with the right turn and stuff. Okay, and then you have your 3-second delay and clear the screen. Then you can reposition your turtle, draw your triangle, and create a 3-second delay, and then redraw, set the colors to not a white screen after reset. Oh, here we were just showing you what happens with clear screen. Clear screen would make it all white. So you'd have to actually reset your turtle speed, reset your turtle color, and reset your back color if you wanted to do that way. And I think we're leaving it to you by the looks of it to work out how to draw that magenta pink circle. All right. So that's part of the answer there, just to show you how it would be set up and how to put these time delays. And if you use clear screen, you will have to do a lot of redoing to get everything back the way you want it. So it's probably better to use this other one, turtle reset, okay? Anyway, play around with that, try it out, do the learning. The main thing is to learn about time delays and clearing the screen versus resetting items on the screen. All right, and the final challenge task 3, was the one we showed you right back at the start of the video, and we previewed this. We need 3 shapes on the one page. We're making a long drawing board this time, so I'm not sure of the size there. I think it's like about 600 across and maybe 900 long, or maybe it's 500 by 900, or maybe it's 600 by 1000. You can figure that out. And so we're going to draw our square, but then instead of moving the turtle across and doing the triangle, we're going to move the turtle down from where it finishes and do our triangle. Then we've got to figure out where to move our turtle down here to draw the octagon. So how you can see where the turtle's pointing after it finishes drawing before you move it to the next shape, make sure you have the turtle visible, so don't have turtle.hide in your program except right at the end in the finishing up step. And slow the speed down. Set your turtle speed to 1 or 2 so you can see exactly what it's doing as it moves in between very slowly so that you can get it right. We've got to confess, this was challenging. And you can see our octagon should probably be a little bit further down. Even we didn't sort of get this one finished off perfectly, but I'm sure you guys can. And that's it for this lesson. Okay, so a decent kind of challenge task 3 at the end of the lesson. Okay, so remember the full Python programming course, including this lesson, and that's where you can go also to get any downloads of any lessons that you need, is on the PassyWorldOfICT.com/Python page, and you just click on the Passy's World of ICT. You can Google for that and go to it and click on this Python index, or use that link to go there directly. And if you scroll down this page, it's going to show you all of the lessons that we've done so far, and you can find out what order you're supposed to do them in, and you can find each lesson and look at a summary of it, and the video's even on the page as well if you want to get to that. So you could just do your whole Python learning off our website, because YouTube's just where we store the videos. The actual learning structure is all on the website. Okay, so thanks for watching this. It's been another totally awesome Python drawing lesson. I'm going to keep doing that. Someone gave me this shirt for Christmas and I love it. It is so cool. It's exactly what I needed because I'm a nerd. So I'm going to keep doing that totally awesome till it drives you totally crazy. But yeah, thanks for watching. Give this video a thumbs up, like on the YouTube there. And remember, I probably forgot to say it. Did I forget to tell you to watch it at 1.5 or 1.75x? I probably remember that by now. And the other thing is subscribe to our channel because we're putting out new videos all the time. Not sure what the next video would be. I think we need to do a VBNet Games one and then maybe come back to Python. But we will see you in the next lesson.